age is loading up, I will do my shtick, which I think I forgot to do for Channelwood.
Oh, well.
Whoops. But Stoneship, awesome.
Stoneship.
So before we get going, just want to mention again, this is I think the fourth little mini episode on the of this series that we're doing, and I'm Jeff Lanctot. I'm the marketing brand manager. This is Eric Anderson. He's the creative director from Cyan. This isn't being recorded live, so we're not paying attention in real time to your questions on the chat. So sorry about that. But the reason that we're doing this is, amongst other things, to bring attention to the fact that our newly reimagined version of Myst is on sale on the Steam platform for the very first time. The Steam version of Myst is the PC version, PCVR version, and also the Mac version, which is optimized for the M1 chipset, and we are one of the very few apps to have that at this point. So if you have not had a chance to purchase and play the game, we would love to have you on board, and go to Steam and grab it while it's on sale. So with that said, we're back, and now we are in Stoneship.
Welcome to Stoneship. I was told that you had some spicy questions for Stoneship.
I don't know if I have some spicy questions, but boy, this is the whenever I post a Stoneship picture or Stoneship video, or we talk about Stoneship online, I get a ton of folks who ask about some combination, salty, not salty, whatever, some combination of questions revolving around why did the team choose this as opposed to Night and Rainy, which they wanted or were used to or remember.
Absolutely. You can blame this guy right here for this one, and I will take full blame. I will stand by this decision. So the original Myst had different environments with different lighting scenarios and color palettes and all that, and a lot of them were very samey. There's a lot of bright white sky, like almost blown out, and that was because of the fog. The fog would just recede to whiteness. I want to say Stoneship was almost like it came the lockdown on the lighting here came a little later, and it was influenced a lot by Selenetic, actually, which we'll be visiting next. I believe that's our last stage. And the reason for that is, if you look at the original Selenetic, it was very bright. It was like overblown, foggy, which was at odds with the narrative of this planet that was sort of in the throes of being destroyed by meteor strikes.
Right.
And so I wanted Selenetic to be dark, almost like a nighttime cataclysmic type thing. And so for Selenetic, we'll see it in a little bit, but I went with a very blue palette, a very cool, very dark, choking atmosphere. That was very intentional. And so what I didn't want to do is have yet another age that was like nighttime, right? I didn't want half the ages to be nighttime. Right. But we talked a lot about, having it feel stormy, and that sort of pushed me towards this approach of either slightly after the storm or slightly before the storm, and this sunset. And I sort of noodled with it. I didn't, this is one of those cases where I work best when I can just get in there and play with the technology and see what comes out.
Right.
And I poked and prodded and tried some different sky approaches, and then I hit upon this idea of like this sunset, and I was toying with it, and it's like the bigger I made the sun, the cooler it looked. And I've had some people be like, "What the hell is wrong with that sun in Stoneship?"
Yes. We get comments all the time from folks who math it out a little bit, and they're like, "There's no way the sun could be that large and have this area exist.
Yes.
It would be on fire."
No. I love it. I don't know. For me, it's these are meant to be, they're not meant to be terrestrial skies. These are alternate dimensions, effectively. This could be any planet in any solar system in any part of the any part of the universe. So even, Rand has said the same thing. Like, this is it's plausible under the right conditions to have a sun this big, and but that aesthetically it's beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. It makes for great merch. I will tell you that. Let me tell you.
I think this will pump out the hallways. I think. Did I do that? I may not remember how to play the game. Okay, good. This right here is like my favorite. This is one of my favorite shots of the entire game. And it's completely accidental. It's like the light bouncing off this wall and sort of illuminating this space, and then you get the god rays coming in, and you got that big old moon pie of a sun in your face when you come out. I just love it. I love it. I love it. But I understand people's pushback. They want stormy, they want rain, but this was this iteration, and it warms my heart.
Well, there you go, and you can feel free to tweet to Eric if you disagree. Angry tweets. It's at JLance.
Crap. .com.
No. Don't do that. Don't tweet angry. Don't drive angry, like Bill Murray says. Don't tweet angry, like we say.
No, we have nice fans.
We do.
That's not a joke.
Genuinely have the best fan. I say that frequently, and I mean it. I don't just say that. Cool. So, if you had to pick like an area in Stoneship, maybe like a sub area in Stoneship that is like a favorite, or you want to talk about more, you have something interesting, an interesting tidbit. Is that something that we can jump to?
Yeah. You know what? It's going to be the compass room. The compass room. I love the way this turned out. This was remodeled from scratch. I've got the power on now, so obviously our flood lamps are going to be kind of staring us in the face. But this space was remodeled by Robert Krebs, one of our artists who just did a killer job reinterpreting the original. He came up with this amazing industrial design that I just love it. I just love it. And then getting an opportunity to sort of do the underwater. Stuff was fun.
Yeah, the bubbles and the fish get a lot of commentary.
Oh, cool. It's one of those things where I spent so much time trying to tweak it that all I see is issues with it. But I love that it's appreciated.
Yeah.
But this space in particular, I think I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, I'm a sucker for good fastener work, right? Like how is something built? Right. And I look around the space, I look at like the footing underneath the compass table, or even just the way these uprights are assembled with all the rivets and screws and bolts and stuff, and it just sings to me. I love it. It's so well done. He did such an amazing job.
Certainly speaks to, like we were talking about in an earlier episode, the groundedness of it all. It's a little less like fantastical magical, and a little more sciencey magical.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of magic going on.
Absolutely, which I think is like that combination, science plus magic, is in my mind a really interesting and succinct way to sum up sort of the spirit of a lot of Cyan's work.
Love it.
I'm gonna go to the book room, and then that's probably gonna be enough to fill us out for Stoneship. Also, I will say this is the choppiest water in the whole game, and I spent way too much time tweaking the ocean system. But like hearing people comment on the way it feels, like it's not photorealistic water. This is the furthest thing from photorealistic water ever, but I've had a lot of people comment on like, oh man, there's the movement. It feels like I feel so believable. It's like I love getting reactions like that.
There's a real aesthetic to it. I would say this, knowing you and sort of having watched your process, you have a skill that maybe, I don't know, the rest of us don't have, or what have you, or a lot of people don't have in observing the way those sorts of systems work, to be able to say, that's not how water really works, but it's close enough. Whereas I'm looking at it and going, isn't that how water works? I don't know. That looks kind of like how water works to me.
Yeah, I mean, I often talk about how like Cyan's superpower is like, we'll get something to where it's good enough, and then we'll move on, because we're a tiny little team, and
totally.
I feel like we're able to lift above our weight class sometimes just by knowing how far to take something and then move on to the next thing, because if I could spend an entire year and a half doing nothing but tweaking the water system, and then all I would have to show for it is one water system and nothing else. So
right.
And I think it's something we impress on everybody on the team. It's just like it's good. Is it getting the job done? Is it selling the story? Is it selling the spirit of the thing we're trying to do? Cool. Let's move on. Let's ship it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this space. This was fun to work out how to get this underwater feeling and get the volumetric of the lights and the fish and the bubbles and the glass. I don't know. I like this space.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think? Is it time to jump over to Selenetic?
I think we're going to Selenetic. I think we have one more stop on the bus.